You're live. Hello, YouTube. It's me, John Avenger, once again, and welcome to another live commentary. This time we're doing the 2011 movie from 10 years ago, Unknown. Yes, the Liam Neeson movie, Unknown. There's another movie called Unknown from a long time ago as well, I think the 90s. This is him and with the always luscious January Jones, who I haven't done a podcast for. Hey, Network 98, be kind in the comments. And also, yeah, you have Diana Kruger, but hey, at least she's not a Brit, so that's a plus over like other movies I've seen. It's about an hour and 53 minutes, so let's get started, right? Shall we? I know a lot of people haven't heard of this movie, but it's available on streaming. It's on Netflix, so if you can find it. Hey, Josh, you just made it. I just started the opening credits. And Liam Neeson doesn't get a lot of credit in this movie compared to like Taken or The Phantom Menace or other movies, but I think he's really good in this film. It's the same director of Nonstop. I think it's the same. Also, it's the same director of another film that he's done. Hold on. Um, Let me look. This is just the opening. They're in the sky. I really like this director's A Panda production. That's dumb. It's a good film, but my favorite Neeson film is Batman Begins. The thing is, that movie is way too long. You could cut a third of that movie's running time and it would be better. I don't think the origin was needed. We get it. It's his origin story. That could have been 5 minutes. You don't need an hour of the movie to be Bruce before he becomes Batman. It's way too long. This director also did The Commuter, which I just did a podcast for. Binto is not in this movie because 10 years ago, she was a little girl. Yeah, she was like a 14-year-old girl. So nobody wanted her in any films. Plus, she wasn't acting at that time. Not in anything mainstream. See the director, what he did. And Neeson, no matter what accent he does, an American, an Irish, whatever, he nails it. Like, there's the always gorgeous January Jones. Just like if Karen Gillan was blonde and American, and I'm like, just one of those faces you do want to touch. Just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. For those of you millennials like Eddie, she was in First Class, X-Men First Class. Hi, Jonathan Hillard. What's up? Hi, Nicholas. What's up? Good to see you. You guys just made it. Yeah, she is absolutely gorgeous. I don't care what anyone says. That woman could be, she could be an alien and would still be one of the hottest things I've ever seen. And she can be good in a movie. See Sweetwater. It's a movie from 2013. She can act in that, and she's a total badass. I can't say the same about other actresses like Binto, who in Nonstop she doesn't do. In The Commuter she doesn't do anything. She's just a worthless passenger that you blink and you miss. Look at that face, you squinty, gorgeous female creature. It's snowing. Yeah, Jaume Colette Serra is the director of this movie. He's done a bunch of Liam Neeson's films. Not all of them. He didn't do the Taken sequels. That was a director that was high on drugs. Was 2016 the worst summer for movies? It was worse than this year, I can say that. Because at least this year we had Shang-Chi. We had Space Jam 2. I know Levi didn't like it, but I enjoyed it. We also had a bunch of stuff on Netflix and Disney Plus that weren't so bad. Luca was amazing. I didn't love Black Widow, but it was not as bad as Suicide Squad. No, get out of here. And this filmmaker is doing Black Adam and Jungle Cruise. I skipped Jungle Cruise because it's just too. I don't care about the. Let me mute this part. I don't care about Emily Blunt at all, guys. And the filmmaker, I like January Jones a lot, and I'm glad she has another film coming out. Yeah, I missed her. Karen got like 18 movies between 2014 and last year. Yet, where was January Jones doing a bunch of TV shows? No idea. He also did Orphan, that movie where the little girl's actually an adult. That's fine. This movie looks gorgeous. Like this guy, I love his style. He's Hispanic. I get it. They have a good eye for detail most of the time. Because January, you just want to take that face and just lick it. She's a vanilla ice cream, guys. A vanilla ice cream. I can't stop looking at her. I can't. She's almost 10 years older than me, and I don't care. He also did The Shallows, which I haven't finished, but I want to. Look at that shot. That looks amazing. It's like Denis Villeneuve did this movie. Yeah, he also did House of Wax, a remake from 2005 with and he did an Enrique Iglesias video from 2000 no, from 1998, excuse me. He's a good director. I really appreciate his work. I wouldn't hang out with him, but I would like an autograph. He would sign one of my Blu-rays.
Welcome to the Hotel Atlant. Thank you. You check in, honey. I'll take care of this. Have you stayed with us before? First time in Berlin.
Yeah, he's from Barcelona, Spain. So he's from the original Spanish country. Don, what do you think of the guy I told you about on Facebook last night? I don't know. I half of the posts you do, Nicholas, are very random. If you're gonna post something, just post it on my timeline. Don't inbox me and then I'm like very confused, you know. Usually I want to inbox something I don't want to spread on the internet, where I don't want everybody to see it.
I'm afraid, Miss Harris, but the ice and suite may not be available right now.
What do you mean the suite may not be available?
There have been some
Oh my god, and even her voice is delicious. It's delicious. It's delicious. It's delicious. I don't want to hear it's soulless and boring. Yeah, maybe Saturday Night Live was not for her. She's not a comedian, guys. It's like putting Brie Larson in SNL, giving her a bad script and telling her be funny. And I'm like, no, Brie was funnier doing than some stupid jokes that Lorne Michaels clearly doesn't understand. Comedy is subjective now, and it's more. People are way more sensitive about subjects now than they were back in 2010 or 11 or whatever. Have you seen the trailer for Matrix? No. I'm refused to watch the trailer until the movie comes out. Why? Because I don't want to be disappointed again. That's Diane Kruger, yeah. The German from freaking Inglourious Bastards. No thanks. And you don't see her for a while, January Jones, because again, she was doing First Class, which I didn't care for, but she wasn't the problem with the movie. They gave her a lot of shit for the movie. I'm like, that movie was boring. I thought the story was just, it's an origin for Magneto. They should have just done a Magneto movie. But then X-Men Origins Wolverine was such a bad movie that they don't want to do anything associated with that. Yep, he has an accident like Doctor Strange, but it's not his fault. Some critics were confused with this movie. I didn't find it that confusing. I've seen worse, guys. I saw Taken 2, which is the worst Liam Neeson movie I saw in theaters. Absolutely the worst, because I was so disoriented without how much shaky cam was in the movie and bad editing that I'm like, Liam Neeson can do this stuff, guys. This wasn't like old-ass Liam Neeson. This was like middle-aged Liam Neeson. And you made him into a joke. You couldn't even edit him fighting. Brie was funny in an episode of Jimmy Kimmel, yeah, because that's not a scripted show. Like SNL is scripted, and also it's on network TV, on Saturdays, and it hasn't been funny in years. I mean, Natalie Portman wasn't funny on SNL, and that's sad. That was like in 2006 when she was doing V for Vendetta, and that's a shame because I love Natalie in everything she's in. The Liam Neeson looks out of it in this. I'm glad we still have him, because this was after his wife had passed away in that horrible accident. This movie is shot really well. I forgot how good looking this movie was. I haven't seen it in a couple of years. I saw it with my mom and she was very confused. I'm like, not every movie is going to spell it out for you. It's just that's how it is. That's how movies are. Some films are going to be a little bit more abstract. Yeah, this is he's having a flashback. Him kissing. And yes, I know Liam Neeson's way older than January Jones, but again, look at her face, guys. Look at it. Look at it. Why hasn't she played a Bond girl is beyond me. It's one of the most gorgeous blondes I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, suck it, Margot Robbie. Suck it. Because she has a way better face than you, and she's way older than you. And you know how I am with older women. I'm more attracted to them than some young teeny bopper, tweeny boppers. Just saying. I don't consider Caitlin Dever a tweeny bopper because she's almost 25, so she's reached the midpoint. But like Millie Bobby Brown, no thanks. I wouldn't touch her with a 10-foot pole. It's a really good shot. Like even that transition with him again blacking out, and then they show his eyes opening. Yeah, Sarah has a really good style that I really love looking at. And he's not pretentious and highbrow like some directors are. Some directors like Terrence Malick, they think they can make a movie look beautiful and tell a story with just imagery. I'm like, no, you have to have a good plot. Also, John, how random are my posts? Sometimes they're too random, Nicholas. In the inbox. On your post, that's fine. But in my inbox, I don't want like long freaking paragraphs. I don't like reading too much. Actually, he's Irish, but you know, we'll buy it.
You have been in an accident.
Yeah, because he looks German. He played a German, I think, in Schindler's List, right? Or a Jew, something like that. But I can't see that movie right now, guys. Don't tell me to do a podcast for that. I'll cry for days if I do, because it's a Holocaust movie. Those movies are not pleasant to get through. I know that Spielberg directed it and it was like a passion project, but good God, that movie's so sad. I've heard horrible things about the subject matter in that movie. Not that it's a bad film. Would you never touch Red? No, never. Because the hobo, I can't give her a chance. I see that face and I cringe. Every time I watch Disney Plus and they show her face, I'm like, why? It's not needed.
Where is she? Why isn't she here? Cannot find any identification with you, Dr. Harris.
So this movie's basically Born Identity, except it's the action is a little bit more fluid. It's not as much shaky cam.
Or she has a cell phone. It's I can't remember. Can you tell me what you do remember, Martin?
I do remember. I didn't see this in the theater because it came out, I think, in the winter.
Getting in a taxi, please. I don't know how I got here. There are no rules with severe trauma of this kind.
Trauma?
Most of them return.
Yeah, I don't know why my neighbor is always watering his windows. I have no idea. I hope he stops doing that because every single day he does this. He uses his hose and blasts his freaking windows. Whoever plays the next Bond actor after Craig, I sure will get more girls like January. Yes, put her in. She's already in her 40s. She's old enough to be a Bond girl. A Bond woman. I don't know why they call them girls. I mean, they are female, but why not Bond women, you know? He said, are you English? No. Liam Neeson, I don't think has ever played English. He did in Men in Black International, but that was a waste. It really was. This director's done some really good work. Because like I said, I saw Nonstop in the theater, so I know how good it was. It was the 9/11 thing wasn't needed though. Like this guy's like, oh, I'm messed up in the head because of 9/11. I lost my family, and I'm like, I get it, okay, I get it. It's not meant for everybody. Yeah, come here, you gorgeous Karen Gilliam clone. I'm like, it's like looking in a mirror. Like if you see her in Sweetwater with that red hair, she looks just like her. I'm shocked they haven't played sisters in a movie yet because they're both beautiful. What movie is worse, Ghostbusters, Suicide Squad, or Independence Day? I only saw Suicide Squad, so I'll put that one. I refuse to watch Fembusters. I refuse. I don't want to see man bashing for 2 hours. Yeah, this movie came out in February of 2011, so over 10 years ago. It was a winter release, and it did pretty well. Critics were not a big fan of it, but I enjoy it for what it is. It was a movie based on a 2003 French novel, which I never read. It's a movie of mistaken identity, which they also had that in the Net 2.0, which I enjoyed. I know Josh is avoiding it, but I am a fan I'm a huge fan of whatchamacallit, Nikki DeLoach. I thought it was one of her best performances outside of the Hallmark movies she's done and so on. That guy about calling me an SJW for giving Fembusters a Fee Busters a B. It doesn't deserve a B. It deserves a D minus. This movie made $135 million on a budget of 30 or 40. There's going to be a TV series of this. Nikki DeLoach is beautiful. I mean, she's just a knockout, guys. Some women are just bred to be gorgeous. They hit the mother load in the genes department and in genetics, and they just are built to look beautiful, even when they're older. The film got a 55%, so mixed. Not like god awful, not like a 90, but right in the middle. It's not as bad as Amazing Spider-Man 2. I rewatched that, and it's way too long. It's this movie, but add 20 minutes to it, and I'm like, yeah, it's not needed. It's just way too long. There's some good things in it. It's just too long, and too much stuff is in it. See, it says, Liam Neeson elevates the proceedings considerably, but Unknown is ultimately too derivative and implausible. It's a movie, guys. I'm not expecting this to be a documentary. To take advantage of his intriguing premise, Fast and the Furious is worse. Fast 9 is a cartoon.
I'm going to need some ice, sir.
If you get someone to escort me to my room, I can prove it.
Just give me a moment. Hallo, ist die Rezeption.
Yeah, television series. There she is. There she is. There's her in another beautiful dress that I'm going to just fawn over. Wait, I'm muted.
Excuse me, sir. Do you have an invitation? No, I mean, yes. My name is Dr.
In June 2021, earlier this year, it was announced that a sequel television series based on the film is development. I hope it comes out because I really was a fan of this movie. Just like when they did Limitless into a TV show, but that only lasted one season because the premise, it was too late. The show came out years after the movie. Neeson will serve as an executive producer and Colette will direct the pilot and executive produce. I hope they get another gorgeous woman like January Jones. Hell, bring her back.
So, he knows that he can confirm who I am. If you will be patient, sir, no problem. I'm being very patient.
Richard Roper gave it a B+. Well, that's kind of what it deserves. This is not a classic, but it's a lot better than some of the movies that came out this year. I'd sit through this any day over Reminiscent. Josh, yes, this is better than Reminiscent. Why? It's shorter. It's more coherent. It's not a $200 million budget almost. And also the acting is way better. And as much as I love Rebecca Ferguson, I'm glad Dune is coming out and it's already making money overseas. I'm very happy about that. As a fan of gorgeous looking films, Denise needs a hit. Oh my God, you are so beautiful. I can't take this, guys. I can't.
Excuse me. Do I know you?
I first saw her in American Wedding, and guess what my reaction was?
What's wrong?
I was in The Mask.
I was in an accident. I was in a coma. They didn't know who I was.
And she has a dot right here on her upper lip. That's so sexy.
Oh, you must have me confused with someone else.
Oh yeah, I do. Karen Gillan. You look just like her. Your skin is way whiter than her, but still, if you want his channel demonetized, Nicholas, then the movie would give him a strike. Yeah, I don't want to be demonetized. Can you cover it under the skin? I can, but I'm not going to show that movie because I don't own it. If I don't own the movie or have the film digitally, I can't do it. Plus, Scarlett Johansson's birthday is not till November, so I'm going to do another film with her, maybe Age of Ultron. I wanted to do a video about potential girls for a gun. January will be at least in the top 5. Her, Karen, Caitlin, Karen, Lucy Hale, or even another one would be Camila Mendez because she has that exotic look.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Okay. Would you mind just getting him away from us, please?
Mistaken identity.
Hey, please. Get your hands off him. Just back off.
Yeah, he's so good, man.
Come on, back off. What's this all about? Why don't you just take a walk?
Oh my God, she's a mix of a lot of European in her blood. That's why she's so gorgeous, guy. Snowflake skin, gorgeous blonde hair, a squinty.
embarrassing me. Please. Get them out of here. Please. I just hurt. Have a nice evening.
I know, Liam Neeson. I know.
Why are you doing this to me?
No, because the script says so.
Right there. That's Liz. And I am.
What do you think Nicholas watches everything? I don't know, because he's a kid. Well, he acts like a kid. He's much younger than I am. I know that. Leah, at least you're close to my age, so at least you get my gist. I was upset last week. That's why I didn't want to talk to anybody. But I'm back now. I'm recovered. It's fall. Fuck the summer. It's over. We can move on. It wasn't the worst summer. Last year was way worse, but there were things in the summer I wish had not happened. One of them being that horrible game I went to. I am Dr. Martin Harris. What a voice, man. So cinematic.
Must be forcing her or something. But why? Help me. Why?
Potential. January Jones.
Just do an internet
Yeah.
search.
See Sweetwater. It's a film from 2013. It's an independent movie. Actually, Nicholas, I'm a year older than that, but I am way older than you. If you were Caitlin Deaver, trust me, that would not be an issue, but you're not. So,
508
because she's gonna be 25 in December, and I'm just crazy about her, guys. If I do a podcast for Booksmart, the whole movie I'm gonna be like, God, I want to kiss your nose. God, I want to kiss your nose. God, I want to kiss your nose. Yeah. Have you watched the Hawkeye trailer? Yes. I saw it on the way home from that god-awful game. It cheered me up. I know some people are mixed on it, but guys, Renner's done a good job so far, and he's really dedicated to this role. And the dramatic stuff with him is going to work, and Haley is going to be adorable. She's going to beat the crap out of freaking Binto. Stab her right in the neck. I do have the list in my head. January, Caitlin, Lucy, Camila Mendez, and maybe Danielle Melchior. Yeah, she's next because of the Suicide Squad. She got a lot of attention for that, so... At least these Germans are not Nazis in this movie. No, that's not him. He stole his identity. Yeah, because Melchior was one of the breakout stars of that movie. Her and John Cena as the Peacemaker. Who I do want to see, guys. He does kill Rick Flag in that movie. Hey, Electric Dino 975. I don't know your name, but I'm getting some new faces here in the podcast, so we're about 22 minutes in. I do think Nonstop is better than this film, but this is a pretty good action thriller.
You're probably right.
This is like the Bourne Identity, and it came out around like not 10 years, but several years after that movie, like almost 10 years. It was made around the same time. It was made like 10 years after Bourne Identity.
Sort of thing this was going to happen. I need to go back there.
Yeah, some people call this Taken 2. Yeah, I saw that guy's podcast of the movies of 2011. He said, Taken 2. It's not Taken. This movie's completely different. I already said I've watched the trailer for Hawkeye. I'm not answering that again. Nicholas must have like $1 million. Yeah, I would love to see a TV show on this. A mistaken identity, and they have to find out who stole his identity. That's actually pretty interesting. But it doesn't have to be in Germany this time. You can go to a different country or just be in America. Why not? Oh, Josh, you forgot Erin Moriarty. She'd be the most gorgeous blonde girl ever. I really want her to be in something. But she hasn't done a film in a while. She's done The Boys, and I want to see her in that because of how sexy she is. I could see Karen as a Bond girl as well as her sisters. Yeah, sisters with January. I could buy it because they look alike. Their faces are very European, and I'm like, yeah. And I can't take it. I'm like, oh my God. Let me have some nuts. Why are you touching her face? You notice that every guy loves to touch January's face? I'm like, it's a work of art. Hi, Gwen Baker. Have some pistachios with smashios. They're good for me. Josh Williamson. Hello.
This is Dr. Cole. I'm having an out-of-office experience right now. Please leave a message. Rodney, it's me, Martin. Listen, I'm at Berlin for the summit. But it's Liz. She's... I don't know what she's doing. There's another man involved. She, I'm in trouble, Rod.
Ja, aktuelles Guthaben. Nein, bitte sehr.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm not talking much. I want to see. I want to be engulfed in this movie. John, sorry for the jokes about your mama. I didn't read those. I think I'm just gonna block this guy. I don't have time for bullshit right now. Remove. Yeah, that's good enough. I don't want to read anything stupid today. See how this director shoots his movies? You actually can see what's going on. Jungle Cruise, big problem between that movie compared to this movie. There's way too much CGI in it. I saw the trailer and I'm like, yeah, there's too much CGI in it. Like the Pirates of the Caribbean movies or Lone Ranger or freaking Tomorrowland. There's just way too much CG. When you can't even get real animals anymore in a movie, that's lazy, guys. The Jungle Book, the Lion King remake, Doolittle, just put real animals. Animals still exist. If they're dangerous, I can understand putting a CGI jaguar or something, but it just looks like Jumanji, but not as fun. No, I just didn't care. I didn't care because I'm like, Karen and her sexy tight ass in those sequels is way more appealing than Emily Blunt in pants and swinging like she's freaking Tarzan. The hell? What was that in the ride? It's a ride where there's a freaking boat captain, sailing through a freaking river of animals, African animals, and that's it. It's got nothing to do with a woman swinging on a freaking vine that's independent in the 1500s and has conquistadors. Yes, I know that there was some racial stereotypes in the ride, but it's a ride, guys. You're not going to get much here. And let's face it, Disney has not had the best track record with doing movies and attractions and making it into movies. Tomorrowland and Haunted Mansion and all that, and even the Pirate sequels are very hit and miss for me. Black Adam, Green Lantern Corps, and The Flash will have much better CG. Yeah, because it's a comic book movie or show. But a Disney movie doesn't always need a ton of CG. It takes me out of it. I can handle that in Alice in Wonderland and the Marvel movies and even Star Wars, even though the recent films have sucked. But when it's everything, when it looks like a video game, like Avatar, it's too much, guys. It takes me out of the experience. I feel like I'm watching I'm watching computers. I'm not watching real imagery. Endgame, I loved it. I'm invested in the story. That's why I stood for the whole 3 hours. Avatar was just bored out of my mind. The CG, while impressive, it gets old after a while. And reading the subtitles didn't help either. Hey, look. Hey, look. It's a German Bruno Mars. Yeah, you sound like a German. You sound like a Nazi. And yes, Zazie Beetz is German as well. I know that.
No one knows where she is. Thank you for time. Excuse me. Hey, American, I'm sorry we couldn't help you. know where she is. I can tell. Look.
Also, he looks like a Milli Vanilli guy because it's two names, Bob. Yeah, you only need one name. Just say Bob. I don't care if you have four names. Just one name is good enough. I put John. No one ever calls me John Avenger, this, and this, and this, and that. No. Oh, God. Yes, I know she could speak German, guys. That's one reason I avoid this actress in most things.
I don't use taxi.
Yeah. I don't have Taxi. You did a freaking German Holocaust movie, lady. You also did the National Treasure movies, which I was not a fan of. Mute that. I don't want to read subtitles right now. Also, you also did The Host, the worst movie I saw in 2013. It was so boring. I was like, why was this movie made? Be sure to add Erin onto the Bond Girls. Yes, Bond me, baby. She could take that whatever she does as Starlight and just, wear that outfit and just spank me. And I would be like, oh, yes.
Excuse me. I need to find Professor Whistler's lab. I have an appointment at 12:30. I'm late.
Your name, please?
Dr. Martin Harris.
This is like again, it's reminded me a lot of Born Identity.
Professor knows who I am.
That movie got a lot of praise for its thing for its time, but there were problems in that movie, especially killing off Franca Potente, another German actress, in the sequel. That was not needed. Because Jungle Cruise, let's face it, that this director is better than that. When did Bento first started bothering you? It was when she first appeared in the trailer. When I saw the trailer and she fell and Scarlett points a gun at her, I'm like, you look ridiculous. You look like a 16-year-old girl. It was supposed to be like 20-something years later, and she looks like a freaking 16-year-old girl compared to Scarlett Johansson. Scarlett Johansson is not a tall woman, but...
Who are you? This man is not Martin Harris. I am Dr. Martin Harris. Sir, what's this? That'll do, Martin Harris. No, let me explain. This man showed up at my hotel last night claiming to be me. The police were called. I called the police, son of a bitch. Checked himself out of a hospital. It seems he was in an accident, Professor.
Because I saw her in the trailer and she looked ridiculous. And when the movie came out, and I saw the film, I'm like, her intro, that wasn't even her intro, guys. You know what her intro was? She had a sniper rifle from a distance, and she screws up. Yeah, that's a great freaking intro for one of the weakest characters of 2021. You know who's a good female character? Xiling from Shang-Chi. That's how you do it right. She has a cool entrance. She beats the hell out of her brother, and he doesn't even know it's him. And she's sexy. She doesn't look like no 16-year-old girl, I'll tell you that much.
10 years old.
Aidan Quinn, yeah, this is an actor that I've seen him in a lot of stuff before. I think it was in Mission Impossible, the first one.
How I'd never seen my father this happy.
I helped you with Binto by having you think of Natalie Lynn. Yeah, the whole time I was like, Natalie Lynn would have been a much better choice.
I told you about our honeymoon in Paris, my wife and I, and how she wanted to visit all the museums. All I wanted to do was go to the École Polytechnique, but she insisted. And that's how I first saw Leonardo Vitruvian Man.
See that they're like mirroring. That's weird. Yeah, they're saying the same thing at the same time. Natalie Lynn is way more desirable. She did 3 shows. She did 3 shows that were freaking good. Big Sky, The Gifted, and Gotham. 2 of those shows being comic book shows, and yet that's better. That's a better. Her performances were way more solid. Hey, James Scott. What is the weakest female character 2021? Who do you think, guys? It's not the hobo because I didn't see Chaos Walking. That movie bombed. So everybody forgot about it. To me, it's Jelena. I hate that character with a passion just as much as the hobo, except the polar opposite. She's not good at everything. She sucks at everything. Even her accent sounds like a cartoon. I'd rather sit through the New Mutants and hear Anna Taylor-Joy's accent. At least I like her face. She doesn't look like a 16-year-old girl anymore. Yeah, there, I said it. And she's an X-Men character. She's the sister of Colossus. And I'm just sick and tired of hearing a Russian accent in a movie. It's just, if you're not Colossus, don't put it in a movie. It's just not necessary. I really need some other sexy accent. I'd rather hear Gal again. At least Gal's accent never gets on my nerves.
defines people.
Jurgen? Yeah, that's not a stereotypical German name.
The mistake was mine. I should never have let you leave.
What's happening to me, Doctor?
Confusion, memory loss, complete or partial loss of identity. These are common stages in recovery.
Trust me. I forgot who I was when I left the baseball game last week. I lashed out on my friend. I'm very sorry, Josh. I wasn't mad at you. I was mad at the stupid game. Elena's the weakest as well. I may have issues with Sam from Gunpowder. No, that was because she can, like, in cartoonish ways, even though they never explain it. She kills somebody with a cookie jar. It's stupid. But she was better despite the issues, and Ratcatcher 2 is my favorite. Yeah, Ratcatcher 2 doesn't have she has the rat thing. That rat that Idris Elba pets at the end of the movie, which, yeah, not that exciting. No, that ending is kind of weak.
Which do you think wins?
I couldn't stand Yelena. I'm sorry. She ruined the movie for me. Scarlett needed to own that movie. You didn't need some little sister sidekick that treats her like shit. I'm sorry. I couldn't get through it. I can't see that movie on Disney Plus, and I'll never do a podcast for it. That is for sure. Unless you pay me, unless I have monetization, I have no part of it. Yes, you gorgeous creature. Look at that. Her hair's all wet. He's kissing her neck. See, men and women can be together. It's called procreation. And he's way older than her, but again, got no problem with it here. In Bond, I'm a little iffy on Daniel Craig kissing up on Leah Seydoux, because I'm like, she's like young enough to be his daughter. You saw her with dark hair? Yeah. It's like in Species when that I could do a podcast for, except you're not going to see any nudity because I can't show nudity. I'll get a guideline strike. This channel will be free of nudity or any copyrighted music for the rest of the year.
This won't take very long.
No, sorry, I disagree, but I could disagree like a man. I'm not gonna fight in the comment section because, like I said, I've seen worse. So my husband in the chat, James Scott, that's your husband? Didn't know. Sorry. And also, happy birthday to Tiana Paris, because last night I posted some pictures of her on Facebook. What a knockout. She could also be a Bond girl. Another black woman, just like, why not make her a Bond girl like they did with Halle Berry back in 2002? You can't take him until I get confirmation. Yeah, here's the paperwork. Yeah, the hospitals, there's a lot of like, ooh. Wow, that death was pretty brutal for a PG-13. Yeah, that's another thing. This movie's not R-rated. Most of Liam Neeson's recent stuff has been PG-13. Some of it is R. I think Cold Pursuit was R. No, she's dead, dude. He snapped her neck like a twig. Monica Rambeau is also my favorite. She's way better than Elena. A gorgeous black woman with an afro that has superpowers. Elena ain't got superpowers. She was neutered, and is Yelena the opposite of a Mary Sue? Yeah, because she's not good at anything. Even at the end when she blows up, who has to save her? The real Black Widow. She's just a substitute knockoff that's going to fail. By Avengers 5, the Young Avengers, Kang is going to take her neck and break it, just like he did, just like Thanos did to Loki. I'm telling you, that's going to happen. I'm sorry, that's what's going to happen. Kang is going to conquer her world because she has no superpowers. Why do you think when Thanos fought in Infinity War and Endgame, Scarlet didn't fight him? Because she wouldn't stand a chance. She's not believable. She couldn't beat my ass in a fight. If we had an MMA fight and I trained for a year, I would beat her ass in 2 seconds. Because I'm a man and I'm stronger than her and I'm older than her and I got middle-aged man's strength. She couldn't fight. She's like if Ronda Rousey was a little girl, and I'm like, Ronda Rousey is way better fighter than you, Binto. That's why I can't call her by her name, because I don't call people by their name if I don't like them. Diana Kruger, I'm not crazy about her, but at least she didn't do a movie that. What if I was at your theater when you saw Black Widow? You wouldn't have liked my reaction. Some old guy told me to shut up, and I'm like, yeah, but you don't tell me what to do, dude. I had a horrible year last year, so I was making up for the lack of theater experiences last year. Yes, sir. Liam Neeson escaping from a hospital. It's a lot of tension in this scene. Tonight is The Masked Singer. I can't wait to see it. I've been waiting months for it. So, Olivia Munn. That's another one that could be in a Bond movie. Also, why does Nicholas always offend someone? Because he wants attention.
It's okay. Much better.
Because some people piss me off. I know. I get it. Olivia Munn was also Coco. Who's Coco? Coco. I have no idea what that is. She wasn't in that movie, Coco. This looks like the scene in Civil War. Remember when they're in Germany? That was pretty awesome. I need to get the mail. I'll go. You said Olivia Munn could be a Bond girl. That's good. Yeah. Again, why not? She's the perfect age for it. Young Avengers will be all right as long as Miles is there. Yeah, Miles, somebody actually can buy. He's not a little girl, and he's younger than Peter, but at least he has an interesting backstory. We saw that in Into the Spider-Verse. I don't see Yelena getting an Into the Spider-Verse. Black Widow underperformed because of her. She brought the movie down. The stupid twist, and also that's the worst post-credit scene in the entire MCU. Yeah, the worst. It leads to nothing. It's setting up a show that's coming out in November that has nothing to do with Scarlet in the first place. My connection is unstable. Unfortunately, I've been podcasting for a while, but going to keep on going.
Yeah. You met her. She wouldn't have to be in the hospital.
Coco from from the Lego Ninjago movie. Yeah, I forgot, guys. I haven't seen the movie in a while. She wasn't a main character. She was like the mom of Lloyd or something, and I'm like, yeah, it was. The problem with that movie is that why did they get celebrity voices for the Lego Ninjago? They had the voice actors from the cartoon. I know with the Paw Patrol, they got some of the actors from the cartoon and some new actors for the voices, but I don't know who the voices are. They weren't major celebrity voices. Here, all the voices were celebrities like Michael Pena, Dave Franco, Kumail Nanjiani. I'm like, these are people I recognize. So hearing their voices, it didn't sound like the characters to me.
Yes. Proudly. Excuse me. I cannot drink any longer, but I'd like to forget it. We Germans are experts at forgetting. We forgot we were Nazis. Now we have forgotten 40 years of communism. All gone. But it's not just history that's forgotten. It's people too.
Yeah, people too.
Das Gretchen Erfurt.
Does Scoob and Lego Ninjago have the same problem replacing the original? No, it wasn't that. With Scoob, it's not a Scooby film. It's a world building movie. At least Ninjago was set in the Lego universe without setting up a cinematic universe. Lego's already a cinematic universe. If you've seen the Lego movie, Lego Batman, etc., Lego DC, my Dark Knight 4K didn't come yet. Maybe in a few hours. Yeah, I'm not. I don't get 4K because to me it doesn't look any different than DVD or Blu-ray. This looks fantastic. I'm looking at the film. It's widescreen. It's not fuzzy. It's not out of focus. It's not. There's no one laughing in the background. It's perfect. Resolution doesn't matter to me as long as it looks good, guys. I'm not in 4K, and you see me just fine, right? See my little fingers? Because with Scoob, I didn't like the voice actors for the females. Like, you got Amanda Seyfried as Daphne. She sounds nothing like Daphne, and Gina Rodriguez as Velma was the worst choice they could have went with. She is not Hispanic, guys. Velma was never Hispanic in the cartoons, in any of them. Do you hate it when other studios try to copy Marvel? When they do it bad. If you want to think about it, Sonic is doing the same thing, but it worked. It's not. It's trying to create this Sega universe, which is working because the first movie was contained. It was a good film on its own. It wasn't like, let's throw the Golden Axe characters in there. Let's throw in characters from so what was it, Rystar, or from other Sega House of the Dead. No, it didn't put Sega characters in there that didn't fit. It was self-contained. When you do like the Mummy from 2017, that's a problem because it feels like you're trying to do what Marvel did so well and try to shove in like 5 characters in one movie that are not needed.
What could they gain from being you? What does your wife gain by denying
What does your wife?
you exist?
Do you believe me?
In the Stasi, we have a basic principle. Ask enough questions and the man who is lying will eventually change.
I own 500 Blu-rays. Wow, I have over 200. I'll get to that eventually if I have enough space for it.
Believe me.
I believe you're telling the truth, Dr. Adams. I start by calling your colleague at Langmore. As you say, it's Thanksgiving, there's the time difference, so it may take time to make contact. Then there's the question of
Money.
unfortunately, yes.
The money, unfortunately, yes, yeah.
Of course. Here.
Kristen Wiig would also be an amazing Bond girl. Yeah, I know she's more comedic, but I don't care. Sometimes a Bond movie needs a little bit of sense of humor because, good God, Daniel Craig barely smiles in those movies. Every time it's like this, he's very stoic, and I'm like, he's a good actor, but he should be a little bit more funnier. I mean, Knives Out, he wasn't stoic the whole time. I saw him in the trailer.
Beginning of all,
Pooey.
as you know something,
I've already tried.
there may be details we've overlooked.
Details. Yeah.
That was really
You have to stretch that out, really. Details. This is not black. Yeah. A lot of foreigners do that. They stretch out their words to sign a song. Yeah, why does she have a hat like that? That's weird.
I know why you ran away from the accident.
Because she's joining.
The police have picked you up.
Leah, what are you anyway? What race are you? Are you Irish or something? Because Scott sounds like an Irish name. What do you think of Skyfall? It's a good movie, but it's too freaking long. You could have cut 20 minutes of that movie out. There's like characters like Albert Finney. You could have cut him out of the movie. He wasn't needed. And also, if you're gonna have a Bond girl, use her. Don't have one and then kill her off. That's just lazy. They did that in Quantum of Solace. I didn't even think about Kristen Wiig. Yeah, but yeah, she was sexy in Wonder Woman 84. I would rather her be in something like that. Hold on. I'm not pausing the movie. There's a bug in my room.
Tell them what happened.
Gotcha.
Anything you can.
Die.
And I need a place to crash tonight.
It was just Spider, guys. Don't worry. You didn't see any murder. It's just it was in my room. I wanted it in my room. I'm not ready to get bitten by a radioactive spider today. Yeah, because you would think that a comedic actress wouldn't be the ideal pick for a Bond movie, but Bond needs a little bit more comedy. It's It's way too stoic and serious. They have to put in some kind of like lighter tone. Stop making the Bond movies like emotionless freaking drones versions of Mission Impossible has some comedy in it, guys. Do you want to see a Streets of Rage movie if they do it right? I never played the games, but I've heard that they're well respected.
Makes sense.
She didn't recognize you. How long have you been married?
5 years.
5 years?
You know, it sounds crazy, but it's true.
I could hear Kristen Wiig read the phone book, which you guys, yeah, back in the 90s, that's how you found somebody's address or their numbers. Or also I could hear her as Siri in my car, and I would be like, damn, your voice is sexy.
The walls are made of cardboard,
The Vols.
but it's home.
The last time they tried to put humor in a Bond movie, it got ridiculed twice with Moonraker and Die Another Day. No, not all of them. Like, there were some jokes in GoldenEye. Look back, I just rewatched it. He's like, I'm sorry, I forgot to knock, and punches the guy out. That's funny. See, it's not a cartoon. You can put one joke in there. It's not going to kill it. When it comes to, you don't have to do a parody of it, but you don't have to make it like a freaking melodrama. Now with Daniel Craig gone, Caucasian and American, but what race? Like Irish? I know you're American, Lee. Yeah, I get it. I knew that from your post, even though you don't post a lot of pictures on Facebook. Just your cute red-headed avatar. Prince Shada in assassination attempt. Ooh, that's dark. This movie's not a comedy, but it's got some light moments every time January Jones is on screen.
Mind if I took a shower?
Try. I'm not sure you will fit. The light is broken.
The light is broken.
Leave the door open if you want to see anything.
Anything? I don't want to see anything. I'm sorry, just that accent is laughable. It either scares me if it's a man, but
Sorry,
I give you a place to stay. That does not give you the right
You're right. They're good. The drawings.
because, some of the Bond movies, I mean, you had Bond dressing up as a clown in Octopussy. Are there really any standards for him anymore? No. Just don't have it be so stoic. The next Bond has to have a smile on his face at least once. It's not going to kill you, man. Show his humanity. Show them that he's not a robot or a drone.
2,250 euros. And counting.
And counting.
I get to 4,000. I get my papers. So I can get the hell out of here.
So what? More than you need.
What?
Yeah, somebody's getting their rocks off.
Oh,
He's sweet.
it never goes for very long.
What if Space Jam: A New Legacy was also called Space Jam Into the Serververse? It would have made sense because it's a lot like Into the Spider-Verse when you think about it. Not that critics loved it because they didn't. My least favorite was Lazenby because he only did one, and yet he has the most downbeat ending. He marries a girl and she dies at the end. Yeah, you writers deserve that. Also, the movie's way too long. On Her Majesty's Secret Service, it feels like it's 3 hours long.
You got company.
You have the keys.
Bring it back to my list. He's on the TV. And don't forget to listen to Nita.
You're the best.
I know. Yeah.
And unlike in Black Widow, this black guy the black German actually serves a purpose in the plot. The other black guy in Black Widow, like, why was he in the movie? To hit on Scarlet and then see her at the end? Yeah, that was a waste of a cameo. Moore was my least favorite Bond. Why? Because he was too comedic?
Pico! Going to be like
Oh, yep. It's just Craig. I'm just sick of him complaining about, I'd rather kill myself than do another movie. Well, you don't have to because you're not coming back. So you'll just do a Knives Out sequel and stick with that. Don't play Bond ever again. Because I thought he was much better in Cowboys and Aliens and even his comedic stuff in The Kid in King Arthur's Court. That's laughable, but at least I can laugh at his performance in that. I saw that as a kid, so I didn't see him as Bond as a kid. He came out, the first movie came out like when I was in college. So yeah, not exactly half British and half American. Really? Is that why you got red hair, or is that just your avatar? This looks like the villain from Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. It's not him, but
Drugs?
I guess you're not interested in No Time to Die. No, hell no. A 3-hour Bond movie. No, thank you, sir. I saw the trailer and I'm like, this movie just looks like it's going to be like way too long, like Fast 9. And I'm like, I don't need that. I'll wait for Spider-Man No Way Home. That's going to be 2.5 hours, but I know what I'm getting. Take that and knock the gun right out of your hands. I love doing an impression of Liam. It's just great. Hell yeah, buddy. We're almost an hour in. Yep, poke him right in the eye. It works, guys. It's a very vulnerable spot. See, I can see what's going on. Take that, Snake Eyes. I'm not her, John Avenger. I know. Still. See, Liam Neeson is so badass, man. He could take anything and use it as a weapon. He could take paper towels and use it as a weapon. That's awesome. Speared right through the wall with this couple that was having sex, even though he was wearing his boxers. But I'm not one to judge, you know. Whatever gets your rocks off. What is that? Right in the neck. Yeah, that's the only thing that Diane Kruger does in the movie that I remember. I'm going to skip Bond because I'm like, I'd volunteer to play Bond and I could bring some humor to it. Yeah, it'd be better than... I don't want to see any more stoic Bond that doesn't, you know... You're romancing a woman. I think you can show more emotion than that. Cry, you know, smile. Just, you know, do you know, when you get your rocks off, at least show that you're human, you know? How can you do a woman and then you're like, no, you have to show emotion. Is that Norman Reedus? It looks just like him. No, it looks like him, though. This film is not painful to watch. What do you think of The Weeknd? They have good music. Or it's one person, I think.
He killed a nurse in the hospital.
What?
He killed a nurse.
I was worried about this movie because I heard that Diana was going to be in the movie, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not a big fan. Skip. 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 This car chase scene is pretty intense. Do you also hate the character of Carnage? I don't like what they're doing with him. Making Venom more comedic is not working. It's not funny. Him sounding like this. You gotta do this. Ready. You gotta do this. It's laughable. It's not. I'm not taking it seriously at all. It's a joke. It is a joke, literally. That's why I'm not seeing it. I'm gonna wait till Spider-Man comes out in December. I've spoken. I like music when his songs aren't depressing. Yeah. I can't see him. That's why I didn't buy her National Treasure, because why would Nicolas Cage fall for some German woman that he just met? I don't get it. So Venom is just copying Deadpool. Yeah, except he's not looking at the camera. So was Birds of Prey, and that failed last year. Do your own thing. Don't try to be Spider-Man. You're not quippy. Venom is not a quipper. I'm from Chicago. Me and Leah got married in 2009. Great. Good for you, man. Keep the love alive, man. Stay safe. Because, this past year, 18 months of isolation have taught me a valuable lesson. Do not take anything for granted, especially love. Hawkeye, the guys who did see my thoughts know I'm interested, but I'm just mixed on Kate. I'm not, because she's not going to be the Grandmaster. She's a gorgeous girl with a tight ass, and she's like actually having fun. And unlike Yelena, who sounds like this the whole movie, at least Diane Kruger, I give her credit. She's not phoning it in here. Like in The Host, she sounds dead inside. Here, she's not phoning it in. And she's way more easy to deal with than Yelena because she's not a superhero. And she's not cursing out her sister in Russian. That's awesome. Of course, it's unrealistic, but compared to Fast 9, at least the car's not flying. I'm not going to go into another Grandmaster. You won't. Either she is funny or just kill her off. No, I want her to kill Yelena or at least beat the shit out of her. That's what I want. They're not going to set up this character and then, she's dead in the finale. I'm like, why? Then what was the point of this character? Don't waste another character, Marvel. You did that with Taskmaster. Don't do it again. I'm warning you. You wasted Taskmaster and it's a woman. Also, Emily's birthday is October 5th. No thanks. Not interested. Who's Emily? Is that Leo or is that Emily Blunt? I don't know. German techno. Yeah, that's not a cliche. That's a movie. I'm going to let it go. At least the scene's not 30 minutes long. It's like the scene in John Wick when he's shooting people and it's like, blah, blah, blah. This is no John Wick, but Scarlett Johansson also played also voiced the Porcupine and Ash from Sing and Sing 2. But that movie was too long for a kid's movie. Let me mute this because I don't want to get a copyright infringement. Remember last time when I did Deadpool 2, I got one. Emily's our daughter. Okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, so she's going to be 9. Good for her. She's virtual learning or she went back to school? Because nowadays, I'll just keep the scene muted. I don't want to get a copyright infringement from Germany. It's like, you stole our copyrighted music. I don't know. Okay? I don't know. I think this is one scene that could have probably been cut out for pacing. Like I said, with Hawkeye, I'm going to go in open-minded. I'm all for it. Because after the year I had, I'm like, and with Loki being such a disappointment, I'm like, yeah. Okay, it's a little bit better now. Because I don't want to get a copyright infringement for the music. How dare you?
Why the hell did you have to get into my taxi?
I wish I hadn't. Believe me.
She has a big nose, but she's just not as good looking. Caitlin Dever is way sexier. She sounds more Russian than German. Secrets of Dumbledore. I don't know what that is.
I have seen those kind of men before. They killed my family in Bosnia. My mother, my father, my brother slaughtered.
Yikes.
We have to disappear.
Where are you going to watch Sing 2? Not in the theater. She's done homeschool since 2016. Well, good. At least she's safe. As long as she learns, what better way to learn than in a safe environment, Because schools nowadays are just insanely crowded. Okay, now I can mute it. I don't want to get a copyright infringement. Her family was slaughtered. Yeah, that's messed up. Liam Neeson's so good in this movie. That's why Sarah, the director Sarah, always like puts him in a movie in one of his films. He was not in Jungle Cruise, and that was a problem because Jungle Cruise could have easily been, a Liam Neeson movie, but they wanted The Rock because he sells movies better. And while this movie's not as good as Shang-Chi, it's still better than Black Widow because I can get through it more and it's shorter. Black Widow did not need to be 2 hours and 4 minutes. Yelena is the reason why that movie was so long. There's more January Jones's flashbacks. And yes, I'm ready, January. I'm ready. What's your opinion on the CGI masks from Halloween H2O? Not held up, but I still like the movie for what it is. That should have been the end of the franchise. We never needed the 2018 movie or Resurrection, which I still like some of it, but the opening was not needed. And also the Kills, which is coming out this year. I'm like, it's not needed. Which animated movie drags more, Sing or the Lego Movie 2? Both, but Sing is a little bit longer because it's an hour and 50. It's just too long. You could have cut 2 songs from that movie. While the singing is really well done, especially Taron Egerton, you didn't need every character to sing. McConaughey doesn't sing. The Lego Movie 2 was just not needed. It was a disappointment.
The second to a line on that page, the third 2 words on that line. What are the words? The Latin names of 2 plant species, Calichurus albus and Bellaria californica. Fairy lantern and California bay, both common flowering plants.
What does it mean?
That I don't know.
Oh, Lucy Hale. Lucy Liu.
Professor Breathless.
Now,
Tell me, Martin, how close are Professor Breathless and Prince Shada?
very close. The Prince is sponsoring the summit. They're both progressives. Bressler wants to end world hunger. He's researching new forms of crop cultivation, offering open access to his data.
I'm going to see The Protege in October if I can. Loki is an A-. I skipped Loki, but I can skip it. The thing about Loki is that it didn't know what it wanted to be. 1 minute it's comedic, the next is dead serious when he dies in Infinity War. Then the next is weird, and then they're singing, and it's too much. It's like trying to be everything at once. It's schizophrenic. Deadpool's supposed to be schizo, not Loki. And Hiddleston was not the problem. It's but all the BS they put in that show was very confusing and weird. That's a really good shot. None of this movie looks terrible. Because Loki, that was the last live action show we got. Because What If is a crappy looking cartoon. I don't like the animation at all. It's awful. I hope Star Wars Visions looks better tonight. The Halloween 5 mask is so ugly. Yeah, it looks like somebody sat on it. Did you like Loki? The first 2 episodes, but the 3rd episode lost me after that. Because you went from showing references, and then you have this cute little orange clock, and then you have the jokes, but then the show just shifts into another gear. Like, you have to put Sylvie in there. I told you, I don't like British chicks. I can't stress that enough. This movie doesn't have any of them. And for good reason. It's set in Germany, not the UK. Liam Neeson is Irish, not British. That's why I can take Haley any day and her gorgeous ass any day over freaking Yelena. Any day, guys. Any day of the week, any month of the year, any day.
Thanks.
What is a Jagwurst? I have no idea what that is. So Emily was born in 2000. In 2000, she's gonna be 9. So she was born in 2012. Yeah, because 2011 would be 10. So yeah, so 2012. Yeah. She-Hulk. I'm determined to make it work. I am, because Tatiana Maslany is gorgeous. She's weird. She's small. She's Canadian, and she's not the average actress. She's out there, and that's fine with me. As long as she doesn't do an Amber Heard, I'm fine. I'll be okay. Does What If and Star Wars Resistance have? Yes, it's that god-awful late 2000s CG animation. It looks like a video game cutscene. That would work in a PS4 game. It doesn't work in a cartoon. It looks weird. It looks cheap and unappealing to me. If it was live action, it would have been a lot better, but that's not what people wanted, I guess. Down in Indiana. That's a nice art museum. There's my puppies barking again. I don't like that CGI. It just looks bad. The CG in Star Wars Rebels and Bad Batch looks way better. At least that looks competent. My number one MCU movie is Captain America: The Winter Soldier, which is a great movie. And Black Widow was like a diet version of that. I'm tired of these diet versions of something better. X-Men Apocalypse, it's a diet Civil War. Suicide Squad is a diet version of Guardians of the Galaxy. Birds of Prey is just a diet Deadpool without the fun, with not as funny jokes and with a girl doing the worst accent that you can hear. I don't remember Ryan Reynolds doing an accent except when he was making fun of the British guy. Jenny Where's is acting her sexy ass off. Yeah, in this movie with the few screen time she has, I enjoy it for what it is. Because they keep showing her in a flashback, and the flashbacks are short. Shang-Chi has a lot of flashbacks, like too many, if you ask me. You could have cut 2 of them just for pacing issues. Like I said in my review, you don't need the flashbacks. Not everything. They're
What are
shit.
you doing here?
What's happening?
Are you crazy? You have to leave me alone.
Why? You have to tell me why. I think
Why? You're beautiful. I can't stop looking at you. I saw her in American Wedding and Stifler's reaction. Yeah, that was my reaction too, dude.
go together, don't you remember?
She was also in Anger Management and a bunch of movies. I love looking at her. I love listening to her. I don't care if it's a voice like this or just whatever. I
can't get out.
Come with me right now.
No. They'll kill us both.
I never should have left you. I never should have gotten into that taxi.
You don't understand me.
An hour and 13 minutes.
Your briefcase. It got left behind at the airport. That's why you were going back. You need to find it. Wait for me there.
Yeah, give me January any day over Amber. You know why? She doesn't beat up on men. And she's not a disgusting wit. Tatiana might be weird, but she's going to do something, get something to her. As for January, I first saw her in American Wedding and then later in Mad Men. She's beautiful. And then I saw her in Sweetwater in First Class in this movie. And I'm like, what are people against her for? Because she wasn't funny on SNL. I couldn't be funny on SNL with those stupid jokes. But Lorne Michaels doesn't like improvising
What did you say?
because it's not live enough, even though stand-up comedians do that all the time. You think every joke they say is planned? No. They just say a joke and they have to keep going and they have to just let it flow.
I have to go to the airport right away.
Yeah, this is a post that Nicholas somebody put on. Captain Marvel is too high. How can you put the worst film of 2019 at number 20? Again, it's not that bad. It's at least it's a Captain Marvel movie. It's not Captain Marvel's a side character in her own movie. No, that was Black Widow. And I said it. I wrote it on Facebook. Let me just.
Is this our student?
Yes, it is.
My name is Rodney Cole.
There's Frank Langella. Exactly. Captain Marvel's not that bad. I said here and on Facebook, and I quote, Captain Marvel arouses me, and I'm not shy to admit that. Yeah, exactly. There's nothing wrong with that. She's a woman. It's not like she's a lesbian in space.
Good news. I just arrived in Berlin.
They're like, oh, they're going to make her a lesbian. No, they didn't because Monica's mother's dead. They did that for a reason.
Sorry. Please excuse my German. When I came up for the last day to hear President
Langella,
speak,
good actor.
I
Really good
forgot my
actor.
order.
He deserved that Oscar nomination.
It's no problem.
Captain Marvel is one of the better films of the MCU, and the Marvels is going to be amazing next year. No Yelena in space.
Then I'll see you soon. Bye.
Instead, you got Miss Marvel and Photon and Captain Marvel all together. That should be a treat for the guys.
Rudnickel,
Rudnickel?
Leipzig.
Ouch. And claiming I'm not a true Marvel fan is freaking it. I saw all the Marvel movies in the theater this year. Every single Marvel MCU film. Black Widow and Shang-Chi. And I'm seeing Eternals in 2 months. I'm a real fan. I've seen all of them in the theater, some of them multiple times. Yeah. Even the non-MCU movies like Spider-Man 3, I saw in the theater twice. And I saw the first Avengers twice. I never seen a movie from Lars von Trier. No, I don't think I've seen it either.
I'm making some for myself.
Yeah, put the chat slow so I don't get like 18 comments in one sitting. Down in Indiana.
You were in the military.
In the Stasi in East Germany.
Well, my grandson's going to be very excited to hear that. He loves all this Cold War stuff.
WandaVision is my favorite show of 2021. That's understandable. A lot of people loved it because it was different for the MCU. They made a comedy work. That's just a comedy at first. It wasn't like a blam blam thank you ma'am action show. It's a great story about Wanda having to overcome her pain. The comedy works, and it just hit on the right levels. Yeah, and it was light. It didn't get super dark until the second half of it, and even then, it wasn't as bleak as some of the films I've seen this year. I've only seen one movie from Nicholas Winding Refn. The rest I'm not interested in. Drive, yeah, because Only God Forgives is terrible. It's Drive, but on autopilot.
The authorities just is it that bad? And a man comes to you with a story. Why did you take his case?
Curiosity.
Is that all?
There's not much in this world left to interest an old spy like me. A few questions I still think over. One in particular from when I worked with the Alpha Claire.
I'm glad you guys have been enjoying my post-credit scene from the movie. What was it? From Shang-Chi, the first post-credit scene. No footage, just the scene with that you know had Benedict Wong's character, et cetera, et cetera. I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't seen it, but it's worth it, man. And no, you're not going to cancel Sumi Lu, guys, because of something he said on Reddit. I could have said something on Reddit and I wouldn't care. What do you think? Why are people hating Far From Home? Because they probably don't like the post-credit scene.
You had time after I called you. Why didn't you run?
Where should I run? From Section 15, Mr. Cole.
Fantastic Beasts, The Secrets of Dumbledore. The film was moved to April of 2022. That's fine with me. I haven't seen one of those films in the theater yet. So the first one I saw at home on Blu-ray, and the second one I rented. Crimes of Grindelwald. Yes, I saw that movie, guys. It didn't hurt me. It wasn't 2.5 hours like some of the other Harry Potter. The toxic MCU fan base are horrible. I know. I avoid them. I wish people will stop trying to cancel everything. Yeah, the only things that get canceled are films and shows, not people. It doesn't work that way. Down in Indiana. Yeah, that Bugs Bunny cartoon cracks me up. It's called Robot Rabbit. It's on HBO Max. Like, every time that I see them, like, he shoots I think that Mel Blanc flubbed the line because he says, the rabbit kicked the rabbit. I'm like, it's the bucket. The rabbit kicked the bucket, and then the bucket kicked the rabbit, not the rabbit kicked the rabbit. I think he flubbed the line, or they messed it up in ADR. That's hilarious. Because Elmer Fudd's like, hooray! The rabbit kicked the bucket. The rabbit kicked the bucket. That cracks me up, man. The bucket kicked the rabbit. That's laughable. Why would you say that? That doesn't make any sense. The rabbit kicked the bucket. I told you, News. I don't want you news. The Google Assistant isn't available on this device. Okay, so I guess I could get rid of it. Yeah, the rabbit kicked the bucket. That's hilarious, man. Dune director Denis Villeneuve attacked the MCU. I don't care what he says, because like I said, guys, his movies are beautiful. I'm not gonna deny that. His films look his movies are absolutely gorgeous. If you've seen Arrival or Prisoners or anything that he's done, Blade Runner 2049, his movies are amazing to look at. But his movies don't make as much money. That's what he's upset about. He wants his beautiful art to be recognized. It will. Dune's already making the monies. No, I don't want to hear this. Yeah, there's no subtitles. What happened to the subtitles from earlier? Lazy freaking writers. Yeah, again, I don't blame the director because he didn't write this movie. Put freaking subtitles. I don't know what the hell she's saying. I know she's saying what he's saying, but still. You could have easily put subtitles. You did earlier. Be consistent, movie. Yep, he got his identity back. John Martin. Surname Harris. Even though Liam Neeson was born after that, because it said 1964. No, he's a lot older than that. He's older than my dad, so how old is he now? Because, like I said, in Fantastic Beasts, I like Newt Scamander. I think he's a much better, not a better character than Harry, but he's different. There's that beautiful picture of her. She's way more beautiful than you, Diana. I'm sorry, or Diane. Get over it, people. She says something about the MCU. It's no reason to cancel Villeneuve. Yeah, same thing that the Bill Maher said the same thing. Oh, these movies are not real movies, or it's not art, or Scorsese. I don't care what they think, guys. I'm a rebel. I watch these movies because they entertain me. They're meant for me. Look at my wall. Look at my wall. Look at that. Look at my walls. You see that? You see the walls? Yeah, I'm obviously a Marvel fan. If you've seen those walls, I know I don't have electricity in here. My dad didn't fix it. But you can see my wall. The little that you can't see. Again, I'm a fan. These are my kind of films. The DCU is very hit and miss. It started bad with Man of Steel, and their last movie it bombed. Who knew nobody wanted to see a shark rip somebody in half or bite their head off or shooting someone in the head? No, it's just mean-spirited. I'll see it on HBO Max or on my computer, but I'm not going to watch it in the theater. People are mad at Simu because he said something. Again, don't care. We move on. I'm going to see Eternals regardless of what anybody thinks. If I don't like it, I'll say so. But I'm going to like the visual style of it. It'll be at least nice to look at. Just wait until you get a flash poster. Yeah, I'm going to post it in my room and put a big freaking light here. I'm going to try to get a light installed here so you can see it. The rabbit kicked the bucket. Eddie Murphy signed a 3-film deal for Amazon Prime. Good for him that he's getting work on streaming because that's the future, guys. That's the future. Movies streamed that you can watch at home and not have to go to a theater again. The theater should only be for movies in the MCU or Star Trek or Star Wars if they do it well, or the DC stuff. That's theatrical. Stuff like freaking Boss Baby 2 could be streamed. Come on. It doesn't need to be in theaters all the time. Kingsman: The Golden Circle was released. I didn't care for it. The Kingsman, Josh, that got delayed more than Mission Impossible 7, and it's in big trouble because nobody cares now. Plus, without Taron, it's going to flop. Nothing against Ray Fiennes, but it's not going to be as good. Oh, he got tasered. See, they put the subtitles here, but when she was talking in the briefcase scene, no subtitles, no consistency. Ha ha! She stole his car. We stole it from you. Should Matthew McConaughey play the Reverse Flash? No, he's too old. He's too old to play a villain now. Last time he played a villain was the Dark Tower, and you saw how great that was. Eesh. The first look at Sandra Bullock in The Unforgivable. Not interested. I haven't even seen Bird Box yet. The rabbit kicked the bucket. The rabbit kicked the rabbit. The rabbit. She didn't have to speak Joyman in Ocean's 8. I rewatched Guardians 2 a few weeks ago. It's a great movie. Yeah, I love it. MI7 I have issues with because of the delays. I'm not, because like I said, it's going to be worth the wait. It's not like studio interfered in the movie. The studios did not interfere. What was the problem was the damn COVID people that had COVID. And like, keep your damn mask on when you're filming. I want to see art. And it's not going to be 3 hours long like No Time to Die. And Anna de Armas is just gorgeous, man.
I've never had this yet.
Look at her face. Look at this.
You want Martin Harris, don't you? What the hell?
Beautiful face, man. I could lick it for days.
My oldest friend. You know who I am. It's me. It's not this other guy. He's not Martin Harris. No, of course it's not. But then neither are you. There is no Martin Harris.
Have you recently become a citizen? Of course not. I've been a U.S. citizen for 3 decades.
You invented him.
Over 3 decades.
Just made him up as a cover to get into the conference.
That's on your talent. Yeah.
You're not making
She's gonna be in No Time to Die, but the thing is, I feel like she's gonna be wasted because there's like 8 other females in the movie. Too much. Here's another picture of her.
a professional team. No. This is insane. Your memories are not real. Martin Harris is a fabrication. You just invented a life, and then you filled in the gaps.
That's great.
She's right. You're really gone on this. She had to go in with a backup. How do you think she feels? They're going to write a textbook on you someday. And thank you for retrieving the briefcase from the airport.
The rabbit kicked the bucket. The bucket kicked the rabbit. The rabbit. The rabbit.
It was a loose end that didn't fit in with our plans. And Jurgen figured this out. By the way, he's dead.
That's on your talent. My talent. Yeah. Well, that was on somebody else's. That was a pop up. Anna's really good in Blade Runner, and the film's anniversary is next month. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Rodney!
Oh, a low blow. John, favorite and least favorite Pixar movie. My least favorite is Cars. My favorite's Toy Story 2. Yeah.
1 year of preparation. We did everything we could to make you come back. Do you know how much time you've wasted? It's Thanksgiving. I could have been home with my family having dinner instead of cleaning up your mess because you bumped your head and started to believe your cover. Tell me. Who am I? You were a trained assassin, and you were my best boy.
So this is basically Black Widow all over again, except that movie's twist was dumb. Like, Olga Kurylenko was the Taskmaster, even though in the comics it was a guy with a lot of powers, and yet they wasted that character. Mm-hmm. Ouch. It's already 1 o'clock. Yeah, I'm glad I put the movie early. Ooh, drugs. I never touched the stuff. Nope. Inside Out is my favorite. It's a good, beautiful, colorful film, but it is more adult than for kids, mostly, the themes in it. But the one that's the most adult is Soul, because it's very adult. I've heard it's very, very adult.
Tina, stay down!
Awesome scene. That was great. Yep. He got squished. Take that. Yep. That's way more realistic than in Fast 9. A car falls. It doesn't fly. It doesn't stay in the air like this. It falls. If it goes over a cliff or down a freaking shaft, it's going to fall, guys. This movie already showed that. That's what happens. Gravity goes, what goes up goes back, must come down. It's not like in Teen Titans when it says what goes up stays up. Yeah, you got the wrong freaking philosophy. Mad Mod. The bucket kicked the rabbit. The bucket kicked the rabbit. That's funny, man. Cars 2, I thought Cars 2 was silly fun. It was shorter than the first one. The first one was just dull. I don't know what they were thinking. Oh, Heather Stevens, I can't wait to celebrate your 50th in November. I'm going to gush all over you. Because like I said, I don't care if an actress is former or not. If she's a woman, yeah, you bet your ass I'm going to run after her. In a good way, like not run after her like in a stalker way. Just like when I smell a female, I come running. Did Fast 9 try to copy Back to the Future? No, it's just trying to be a cartoon, and not even a good one. Hooray! What did you think of Cars 3? I liked it for what it was. It's not as good as other Pixar movies, but it's not the worst sequel they've made.
Martin Harris, married to Elizabeth Turman, July 18, 2006, Martha's Vineyard.
Castlevania? What?
Died September 9, 1987.
I had no idea what she said. She said Castlevania? See, Duna's going to be just fine. Look at Elizabeth, Rebecca Ferguson's face. Look at my face. I want to meet her, guys. I do.
Look, August 27.
I love that face. I could look at it for days. My favorite is Toy Story, yeah.
Are you ready?
Yes. Plastics explosives. Oh, yeah, there's a bomb in the building. I remember that scene. This was fun to do. I'm glad I got to do it again. It's been a while since I've seen this movie. They can become anyone.
We are killers. Brent Shaw is going to be assassinated tonight. There's a bomb in his suite. I put it there. You should have let me drown.
What matters is what you do now, Marty.
This movie set in Germany is not as good though as Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, because you are never going to be better than freaking the gorgeous Rebecca Ferguson in a gold yellow dress with an ass shot. That's one of the finest I've ever seen. That could put Michael Bay to shame. Red Notice looks like less cartoonish than Fast 9. It's not going to be that, Josh. Trust me. Gal saying you got to less me. I'm like, you are so sexy. I just want to just do things to you. It's too bad that she's already married, but hey, I can dream, right? Wait, no, let's mute this. I don't want to hear subtitles. Switch to the 5th floor. Prince Shada has left the building. Yeah, a freaking Taliban member is in this movie. There she is.
I'm so honored you could attend this evening.
The honor is all mine.
You are beautiful, January Jones. You're so gorgeous. I can't stop looking at you. Just her smile makes me melt.
In some circles, my husband is more well known for his martinis than his research.
Cars are not Superman, no. They're also not invincible to damage, and they can't fly. Stupid.
You have an invitation, so I don't know if it's... Leo, please, come in.
Wow, this is the most light-skinned Arabic guy I've ever seen.
Good to see you. So good to see you. Have you met our host? Not yet.
Hello?
I can see why somebody would pretend to be him.
She has milky skin. And sorry, Diane Kruger, you're right here, and January's all the way up here. I read your comments on the Facebook and shared the commentary with the guys. I think the closest you get to the Rebecca would be Caitlin, Melissa Benoist, and Supergirl, or Karen in Jumanji.
Separation anxiety. Just leave it there, you can.
Of course.
Thank you.
Backless dress. She put a scanner in there. Toy Story 4 over 3, yeah, because it's less serious and it has a more completion ending than the third one did. In the third one, he just gave his toys to a little girl. Epic. Mm. Oh my god. You read my comments on Facebook? Yeah, I'm not holding back. I want to show the world how heterosexual I really am in this gay world that's all around me, where people want to be gender fluid instead of just being normal.
This way.
This really is a well-made, good-looking movie. It needed a little bit more action, and cut a couple of some scenes here and there, like the techno scene in the techno club. You could have cut that out, but other than that, Project Z Sakarat. Californica. Mm.
There's a bomb in the Eisenhower suite. I put it there 3 months ago.
I suppose now you are saying that you are Dr. Martin Harris.
There's no point.
Take me to the room. I'll show you exactly where it is.
Yeah, I'll show you exactly where it is. He's great, man.
And the world's leading scientific minds, of course. Why didn't you say so before?
I'm not lying. Pull up the reception recordings from August 27th of this year. Do it now, or many people will die.
Yeah. For 5 minutes.
Exchange. I'm just going to grab my bag.
Wow. I only had one technical glitch, so that's some progress right now.
Like some nerdy accessory.
Mm.
Thank you. That's got all your
Like, seriously, guys, there's no bits that they think Toy Story 3 had the perfect ending. It didn't have the perfect ending because it was just too dramatic. Liam Neeson was also a bad cop, good cop. Yeah, in the first Lego movie. In the sequel, the movie was hurt. The movie suffered because it didn't have him, Morgan Freeman, or Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell has a worthless cameo in that movie, and that's it in the sequel. No, that's I don't want to hear. I don't watch foreign movies. I've never watched a German movie in my life. Das Boot, I tried to watch it. I shut it off after 5 minutes. I couldn't take it. It was boring. I've seen French movies. I've seen Japanese movies, but German, not so much. It's scary.
Find the target and finish it. We got what we came
You forgot
for.
Zoe Dush could play Brown Girl. Yeah, but I really wanted her to play Batgirl.
They have my image on file from when we planted it.
So what?
So I don't want my face connected forever to an explosion we no longer need. Go.
That's right. She could have been a Bond girl too. Because there was a Bond girl in one of the movies that was like a teenager, and she's in her 20s now, mid-20s.
Laurel. Wrestlers, girls, Lily, Laurel. Flowering plants. Calachortus albus and Umbellaria californica.
The code from the book.
There's passwords. Wrestlers supposedly working on a new strain of corn, one that can grow in any climate. It's revolutionary. If they access this research
No, wait.
and kill
Let me just stop
it,
this.
worth billions in the wrong
I could
hands.
film 6 minutes of footage here. I could delete this. That was just a mistake. Laura!
Those off and look
I gave Toy Story 4 a 10 out of 10. I don't think it's that great. It's a great movie, but Zoe still has a chance for a superhero film, so don't give up. Yeah, it's just that she's not going to play Batgirl. They got the girl from In the Heights, who I don't even know. Neeson really does try in this movie. Hey, Electric Dino, you disappeared. The movie's almost over.
Just wandering around looking for you. Thank you very much. You're welcome. Mr. Lee. Yes.
Uh-oh. Yep, Aiden Quinn tried to stab him. Does Aiden Quinn always play a smarmy guy? Because he does in this movie, and I think in Mission Impossible as well. Got your leg. I know the next podcast is not going to be is not going to be this weekend, so don't ask. Shut it off, shut it off. "19 seconds. I saw Blade Runner 2049 a few years ago. Yeah, I saw it in the theater. Yep. The bomb went off. That's the last that we see of January Jones. I adore your new videos. Thanks, man. I'm going to keep it real, and I'm going to just show you exactly who I am. And I'm not holding back.
The client wants this clean. He wants the material from Bressler's computer and Bressler dead. No one can ever know what happened. When the bomb goes off, it'll appear that shot him as the target, and that Bressler was collateral damage.
I'm ready for this soon. Nonstop is a better movie, but I did like this movie for what it was.
I didn't forget everything. I remember how to kill you, asshole.
That's great. That's a great line. Liam Neeson makes this movie work. If this was Liam Hemsworth, I would have been asleep already. I didn't forget how to kill you, asshole. That's great. He can deliver lines like a badass, even when he's not trying to sound like that. But he's a capable actor, man. We're lucky to have him after so many years. Oh, man, that was pretty violent for a PG-13. And this got a PG-13 rating? It's a strong PG-13, man. He stabs a guy in the neck, and you see the blood. That's more violent than anything in Fast 9. And I know I keep knocking on that, but guys, this movie's an hour and 50 minutes, not 2 hours and 25, or with the new running time, 2.5 hours. 7 extra minutes, meaning it's 2.5 hours. Is Liam Hemsworth a poor man's Hemsworth? Yes. He's boring. Nothing he does is good that he's ever been in. There's good movies that he's in, but he's not the best part. He's the worst part of every movie, like the Expendables 2 or Hunger Games or any of that. What's your favorite movie of 2021? So far, Shang-Chi is right now, but it's not over yet. The year's not over. We got 3 more months. That was a pretty brutal death. I mean, he cuts the guy's arm and he stabs him right in the neck. That's a death you would see like in RoboCop or something. They probably reduced the violence because they didn't want Liam Neeson like slice the guy's head off. That would have been too much. Because Shang-Chi really, I was entertained the whole time. There was a lot of subtitles and flashbacks, but that's mostly what's subtitled, mostly the flashbacks.
Less than 24 hours after the failed assassination attempt on the Saudi prince, Nobel laureate Professor Leo Bressler announced the development of a new strain of corn. Fast-growing.
Yeah, I would love to see the show that this movie is going to be based on. That the show is going to be based on this movie. I just hope that they do it just as good. I think it's going to come out next year, probably. 3 big animated movies: Raya, Luca, and Mitchell's versus the Machine. Some of the others, nobody. The Zack Snyder cut, the Justice League cut, the Suicide Squad, Quiet Place 2, and the Heights, Shang-Chi, Green Knight. I skipped Quiet Place 2. I'm not an Emily Blunt fan. No thanks. We're almost done here. Have you seen King Kong? Yes. I saw it in the theater, but it is way too long. Dinosaur-like from Disney and Walking with Dinosaurs. I also saw that.
Now you're free to do whatever you want.
Claudia Marie Taylor. I like it.
It suits you.
Who are you?
You skipped the Green Knight? Yeah, I'm not a fan of British movies, guys. I'm just not interested in King Arthur. Last time I saw a King Arthur movie, I had a massive headache. If you don't count that Scooby-Doo film from this year. The last live-action movie I saw was that god-awful Guy Ritchie movie, which I couldn't sit through again. It gave me a headache. It made no freaking sense. That is the train scene from Civil War. It's just, and that was the movie, guys. That was Unknown, so that was pretty entertaining. There's some twists and turns, some work and some don't, but it is what it is, and it is a good Liam Neeson movie for what it is. He's done worse, but he's also done better, but he's done a lot worse than this. Taken 2 came out a year after this, and that was painful. And it's not his fault; it's the director's. But this movie's fine. I really enjoyed it. It's worth your time. If you've never seen it, it's on Netflix. Watch it before it's gone. It'll entertain you for an hour and 45 minutes or so. This is not a review. This was a commentary, Electric Dino. Thanks for watching, all you guys, for your comments mostly. And I will see you in the next video, hopefully tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Later.